Okay, everyone, so let's go ahead and continue from the previous lesson, which was area formulas. Now, just quick little disclaimer before we get started. I am filming this at home, so if you hear Frenchy noises, little snores in the back, tipper-tapper of dog feet, that is that. I'm sorry for the distraction if it is distracting. Anyway, let's get started. So, on page 2, I'm going to start with question number 13. A triangle with an area of 45.5 centimeters squared has a base that measures 14 centimeters. Find the height of the triangle. So I always believe that visualizing your math is really important. So if this is my triangle, it has a base of 14 centimeters. I am trying to figure out its height, which is currently unknown, but I do know that the area inside of this triangle is 45.5 centimeters. And area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. So this time, I'm not just going to say area equals, I'm going to say 45.5 equals 1/2 the base, which is 14, times the height, which is unknown, so I'll just leave it as h. Or you can make it x, it doesn't matter. Then I just multiply and solve. So 45.5 equals 14 times half is 7 times h, divide both sides by 7, and we get 6.5 centimeters equals h, which means the height. So I'm not centimeters squaring this because I don't need to. Okay, next one, question 16. Find the length of the second base of a trapezoid with one base measuring 12 feet, a height of 4 feet, and an area of 58 square feet. So again, I'm just going to draw a rough little trapezoid. So I know that this is a trapezoid where the bases will not be the same. So I'll make one, I don't know, 12 or something. Now, I don't know if that 12 is going to be larger or smaller. I'm just going to put 12 up here. A height of 4 feet. So this is 4. And an area of 58. Okay. So the setup here is going to be, well, the area here would have been 1/2. Trapezoid area was 1/2 times the height, base 1 plus base 2, okay? So I'm going to have 58, which is the area, equals 1/2 the height, which is 4, times base 1, I don't know which one's 1 or not, plus 12, right? Because that's one of the bases. So let's clean this up. 58 equals, well, 1/2 times 4 is 2 times base 1 plus 12. Okay. So two things I can do here is I can either distribute that 2 to both of these terms and then continue on, or I can just go ahead and divide both sides by 2 immediately, and I get 29 equals base 1 plus 12. I subtract 12 from both sides, and I get base 1 equals 17 feet. So the bottom one is 17 feet. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. So find the diameter of a circle with an area of 380.13 meters squared. So remember, area of a circle is pi r squared. So if the diameter of my circle, actually I don't know what the diameter is, I just need to find the radius, right? So if the area is 380.13, that's where I plug in. So 380.13 equals pi r squared. Now, remember pi is actually a number, so I'm going to divide both sides by pi, and I should get r squared equals 121. Therefore, the radius is 11 because I have to square root both sides. And then diameter is just double the radius, which means that diameter is 22 not centimeters, meters. Cool. All right, moving along. Mr. Peyton would like to paint his deck. Hold on one sec. Mona, stop it. Okay. Mr. Peyton would like to paint his deck. The dimensions of the deck are shown below. If 1 can of paint covers 72 square feet, how many cans will he need to purchase for 2 coats of paint? So this is really important. He wants 2 coats of paint. So obviously we have to figure out the area because 1 can only cover 72 square feet. So let's just simplify it. We're basically just looking for the area, right? So this is a trapezoid. So the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 the height times the base 1 plus base 2. Okay, so the area here is going to be 1/2. The height is 16.5 feet times 14 plus 24. And that gives us 16.5 divided by 2 is 8.25. 14 plus 24 is 38. And the area of this deck is 303.5 feet squared. Okay, that's not my complete answer though, but that is on my way to getting what I need to get done. Now, if I wanted to get 2 coats, right? So this area is for 1 coat, but if he's doubling it, if he's going to paint it twice, I need to double this area. So 313.5 times 2 is 627 feet squared. So I have to figure out how many cans should I buy if I have 627 feet squared to cover? Well, that's just simple division. So 627 divided by 72, because each can cover 72 square feet, equals 8.7. Now don't just say 8.7 cans, because you cannot go to the store and say, hello, I'd like to purchase 8.7 cans of paint. You can't do that. So we have to round this up. So it has to be 9 cans. Okay, and Mona has found her Kong and is squeakily chewing on that. Okay, so next page is just mixed review. I hesitated to even do any questions on this page because it just didn't feel necessary. But I think I am going to do question number 4 at the very least because it's meant to trick you a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. So looking at number 4, this isn't a triangle, so the area of a triangle is just 1/2 base times height, right? The only 2 components that you need are the base and the height. The trick that I'm talking about is that this number is completely unnecessary, the 20.9. So the area here is very simple. 1/2, 27 times 16. And that's a very simple calculation. The area is 216 centimeters squared. Okay. All right. Yeah, and I was going to do 7, but honestly, it's just a parallelogram. It's not that complicated. And 11 is also truly just not that complicated. Or, actually, no. Let's go ahead and do 11. Okay, so for 11, I have to keep in mind that area, again, for triangle, is 1/2 the base times the height. Well, I happen to have a base, but I don't have a height yet, right? But I can figure it out by using my favorite theorem in all of geometry. And I know it's yours too, she said sarcastically. If I create that 90-degree angle, because the height is just the altitude, right? I can kind of hone in on this being a 90-degree triangle that I can solve for, right? I can use Pythagorean theorem here. So I know this is an equilateral triangle because, I'm sorry, equilateral? No, it's not equilateral. What am I saying? Isosceles. Because both of these sides are the same, which means these angles are the same, which means that the altitude running down from the height splits this in half. Okay, so that means that this length is 13. So if I want to find this long leg, I am just going to use Pythagorean theorem. 13 squared plus my unknown leg equals 30 squared. Algebra, math. So I would end up with x squared equals 731, square root both sides, and x equals 27. Now that I have a value for my height, I can actually find the area. So the area is going to be 1/2, 26, which is the base right here, times the height, which is what we just found, and therefore the area is 351 centimeters squared. Okay, cool. Now again, I was gonna do these ones, but honestly it's just more practice, so have at it. The next video is gonna pick up on page 5, where we will talk about the area of a sector in a circle. And I'll see you then. Bye.